Hey everyone, wow, look at this price action in Bitcoin. Wow, had a new all-time high, looks like just above 108,000. It's John here, I'm on my news desk and prop trading desk. I'm gonna do a quick video talking about charts and pivot points and today's news stories and things. Do me a favor, give my videos a like and a share. So I'm gonna do a new format here where I'll show things visually. So this is the chart. So, real quick, the legal disclaimer, informational purposes only, not financial advice, etc. Read the risk disclosure. So let's take a look at this. See the chart? It was down here in the demand zone, here where I purchased the market, then it gave a buy signal, a sell signal, and then purchase again, and then went into the supply zone, and then dropped, told you to take profit. But real quick, today is December 17th, 2024. Got a lot of news. I go over geopolitical news first and then socioeconomic news. And then if you stay with me to the end, you receive a bonus, which is my trading and speculation plan. Latest news story, CNN, sad news in Madison, Wisconsin, on the school 𝐓𝐘𝐒. CBS News, General 𝐓𝐘𝐒, head of Russian forces, 𝐘𝐈𝐒. It's tough to talk about a lot of this news, but I read the geopolitical news every day. Trudeau in peril after Trump sparks political crisis. So we got trade wars and sanctions and tariff wars with Mexico and China and now Canada. Congress, Politico is reporting, Congress strikes deal on $100 billion in disaster aid. Okay, so we got that on geopolitics. And okay, so got a lot of news. A lot of times we can't report on the news because it's not PC, it's not politically correct. And a lot of news, the New York Times is talking about North Korea's soldiers, fighting for Russia, with the Ukraine and everything. So that's the geopolitical news. I read that first. Then I look at socioeconomic. Again, here's the chart on Bitcoin pumping to, again, new all-time high. So let's look at what's being reported on bar chart. So here's the news headlines. Look, S&P's, pivoted up a bit, off fractionally. Crude oil is off, about 2%. The VIX at 1505. And then gold, you can't see it, but gold is off 15 points, to 2654. So here's a news headline. Stocks fall on weakness in chip makers and healthcare companies. So there's news on Nvidia. Retail sales rose, healthy pace last month. And then $1 billion donation from Netflix, Reed Hastings. So people are giving away donations. Business owners should not forget, currency and legal limbo. All right, so we have bottom 100 stocks to buy. So we're looking at that. Micron, earnings with Q1 preview, crypto, nuclear energy stocks, commodities, nat gas, so these are the stocks that are being reported on bar chart and the news headlines. Let's look at the major market overviews. S&P E-minis off 22 points. Okay, we have the Dow or NASDAQ E-mini futures off about 90 points. Dow futures off 222 points. The VIX, the volatility at 16.65. Up fractionally, the Dixie, the US dollar at 106.465. The 10-year, 109-305. Crude oil is off $1 at 69.22 to the US dollar. Okay, gold at 26.56, off about 14 points. Silver, 30.92, off fractionally. Major market most active stocks, leaders. Tesla, again, is active. Nvidia, off about 2%. Broadcom, off about 5%. MicroStrategy, off about 3%. Google's doing great. Apple Computer is up about 0.1% or so. Amazon's active. Meta Platforms, United Healthcare is off about 4%, and then Palantir's off about 3%. So I look at this news every day, my morning routine, and then I look at bar chart, and then I look at, again, here's a chart of Bitcoin, a new high today, and then it did the dippy dip. So we're going to talk about that. So let's look real quick at the headlines being reported on Yahoo Finance. Nvidia's slide gathers steam. Nvidia stock slip, putting AI chipmaker down 14% from its record high close last month. Nvidia is actively traded. Dow eyes 9th day of losses as stock slide. Retail sales jump and strong start to holiday season. Electrified growth, GM, or surprise of the year. Ford, GM news, Tesla, German union over attempt to oust council. Okay, Tesla's boom continues on other bullish calls. B of A, get bullish on stocks, but short-term sell signals. What could go wrong with Wall Street? Broadcom, Nvidia moment. Tech-loving hedge funds have crush on utility stocks. So I look at these news headlines. Real quick, Brazil fights real sell-off. So I'm looking at Brazil stock fund, EWZ. It looks oversold in the Brazil. You know, they're part of BRICS, and their currency's not doing so well. So there might be some value stocks here in Brazil. Not financial advice, of course. U.S. home builders outlook jumps on optimism. Bitcoin sets record. Straight data climbed to 110,000. It pumped today to about 108,000. U.S. watchdog finalizes new rule on solar panels. All right, Starbucks workers union authorized strike potentially. Contra promoters. Okay, so this is, I look at the news headlines every day. And then, let's see, recent stocks that are gainers. Teva Pharmaceuticals up big. Tidewater's up big. Centessa Pharmaceutical. Let's see, the losers today. Amentium Holdings, Marvel Technologies is off about 9%, SoundHound dips about 7%, and then BitDeer dips about 6%. So again, Nvidia is active, Rigetti Computers with their quantum computer and qubits, Tesla is active, SoundHound's off, but is very actively traded, and Palantir is very actively traded. So that's what's being reported on Yahoo Finance, and if you stay with me to the end, you receive a bonus from myself, which is my trading and speculation plan. So let's take a look again. Here's the chart. Here's the demand zone. Here's supply zone. I sold some Bitcoin this morning, a small percentage of it, as it pumped into the supply zone, and then we got the dippy dip. But let's take a look. Let's see what's going on here. First, let's look at the new numbers for today. These are like the secret magic numbers for the pivot points. So let's go over that first. So this is on bar chart. I'll put a link in below in the content for this, but this is the Bitcoin trader cheat sheet, and it's updated today on the 17th of December. It updates about every day or two with the new cheat sheet numbers. So right now, Bitcoin is at 107, 196, and then I use the cheat sheet to identify support and resistance levels every day, and then I place my orders accordingly on Bitcoin. So here's the new pivot point number for today is 104,794 spot 41. So 𝐓𝐘𝐒 said, whenever I had the patience to wait for the pivot point, I always made money with my speculations. So Bitcoin greater than the pivot point, and look, now it goes from 104,794 up to 107,185. So like in Magnet, these are econometric magnets. Bitcoin wants to go up to the first resistance level of 108,922, 101,866, and 115,994. So I have limit orders to sell Bitcoin, a small amount. I don't go all in and all out, but I'll take a profit. So I sold a small amount of Bitcoin this morning for about a 5,000 point profit, not at this resistance point, but about 107,000. And it was nice because I had purchased some last week at about 100,000. So it was about about 6,000 or 7,000 point swing profit that I took out of some Bitcoin this morning. So I cancel my limit GTC orders every day. When the new magic secret numbers from the cheat sheet arrive and are updated on the Bitcoin cheat sheet that identifies support and resistant prices. And these represent the key turning points in Bitcoin. So right now I have limit GTC orders to purchase some Bitcoin at 104,794, and then to purchase some, I'll use it like in dollar terms. So I'll purchase, ready? I'll purchase 1 unit, $1 worth here. Then I'll purchase $1 worth here on the dippy dip. I'll purchase $2 here at support pivot 2, and then I purchase $3 worth here. So as it dips in price, I increase my purchase price based on 1, 2, 3. And conversely, I'm a seller. So what's wrong with purchasing Bitcoin at the support level here at 94 and then selling some at 115? So that's Momo swing and pivot points. So that's, and then let's look at this visually. We'll see here how it plays out visually. So we take a look at this, and we'll get through this commercial real quick here, click away from this. So sorry about that, skip out of that. So look, here's the demand zone where I was purchasing Bitcoin. People who use margin and they get stopped out with the stop orders or stop here. This is where I have, see, I only purchase Bitcoin if I can in between here and here, which is the demand zone. And then if I purchase in the demand zone here, and then I get a purchase signal, I'll add to it, but only if it's at a higher price and then I purchased here. Most people are stopped out here. So I've added here, and then it pumps and gives an exit signal here. I don't go all in and out, but here's the exit, sell it here, and then it puts you back into the market. So this morning when it pumped into the supply zone, I sold a little bit up into this pump, and then look at a big dip from 108,000 to 106,000. So it was a 2,000 point dip. People get stopped out here. You notice that it touched the demand zone. This is a 5-minute chart. So they got stopped out here. And then what happens once the pivot point is reached at 106,000, now it pivots up about 1,400 or 1,500 points. So I have limit GTC orders to purchase at the pivot points. I sold some at the supply zone, and then on the dip, I wanted to purchase some a little bit lower price based on the pivot points, not, so it entered the demand zone slightly and then pivots back up. So the best signals are here when this buy signal is inside of the demand zone. So that's basically my trading plan for today. I'm going to dollar cost average Bitcoin every day, dollar cost average SPY ETF, and then dollar cost average my blockchain ETFs. So many of them are achieving new all-time highs. So we're getting a little sell-off today in Nvidia. It's had a big run. And then some of the chip stocks are selling off, and Tesla's very active, Microsoft, etc. So that's my trading plan for the day. Let's see if we get a pump on Bitcoin up to the pivot point of like 108,900, and then I'll layer out a little bit, pyramid out of some shares or units of Bitcoin, not shares. So that's my trading plan for today. Let's see if I get some, if it dips down below here in the demand zone, like it did here. This is where I have my limit orders to purchase in the demand zone. Then it pumps and, so the market, the Bitcoin market, it's momentum swing. It goes from the demand zone to the supply zone. The demand zone and the supply zone. So on the dip, look, it ran up here like this. It took time for it to go from the demand zone to the supply zone. And then very quickly it dipped. So that's why I have my limit GTC orders down here to purchase the dip. So I didn't have any limit GTC orders at 106,000. Look, now it's pivoting back up again. So the market is designed to always retrace to the demand zone, and then it pivots and goes back up. At least that's my theory. So it swings from the demand zone here to the top of the resistance zone, back down to the demand zone and the resistance zone. And these numbers of support and resistance pivot points, they, like I said, they update about every 1 day or 2 days, depending on the trading range of Bitcoin. So my average cost basis in Bitcoin now is about 62.5, perhaps 63,000. So, you know, I don't try to emphasize the selling and taking a profit. I just want to lower my cost basis and provide liquidity at the demand zones. So with that being said, that's my video for today. Run a little longer, it's about 15 minutes, but people seem to really like these, the visual videos where they can actually see the different price actions. Livermore didn't look at charts. He preferred to look just at prices. So that's why I talk about every day, you know, to my viewers about the pivot point. So with that, everyone have a wonderful, great day. You know, let's get these pivot point trades right. And, you know, the trend is your friend. It's John on my trading desk, and there it goes, it's pumping again. Have a wonderful, great day, and let the trend be your friend. Thanks.